What? Wow, our sound is not here.
Oh, I turned.
Oh, here it is. Well, it's still going up. It's about 30 seconds or so. I think.
If you can wait for it to stop, just stop. Just wait for it to stop.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week, another episode of the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, we're going to jump right into it. A teeny tiny, actually, I won't even call this late compared to what we've been doing. I feel like we're all right. We're here.
We are here.
So, how are you doing this evening? How was your last week?
Last week was okay. I did a festival last weekend. On Sunday, I did the Kaleido Festival, which is a Christian festival with Barrington Simpson and Sean Wright.
And my favorite drummer.
Steven the drummer.
Yeah, my favorite drummer.
And we had a great time, but we had a bad time at the same time. It was really good. People were great. The music was great. If you don't know what the Kaleido Festival is, it is a Christian festival where normally what you do is you go, they put you in a bus, they take you to a neighborhood. Once you're in that neighborhood, they have a flatbed truck or a trailer on the back of a pickup truck, and then you get on top of that trailer when it stops. You get on top of it, you load up, you plug in all your stuff, and you do a concert in the neighborhood. You do 3 minutes of songs, or 1 or 2 songs, and you're off to the next site.
Excellent.
But because of the rain, we were not able to do the entire Kaleido experience. So they took one of the trailers and just put it on site with some tables and chairs on the site, which is off of 93rd and 118.
That's Alberta Avenue over there.
Alberta Avenue Park, to be specific.
What? When did they add the park?
Oh, there's a huge park there for kids and everything.
Oh, it's called Alberta Avenue Park. Gotcha. Yeah. Yes. And it's right beside that community center, which has that lovely garden in the back.
Yeah, and also it's a African grocery store called Kaswa. I used to call it Casa. Kaswa. So that's where we were, and we were there. They gave out free pancake breakfast, which was great, but there was something wrong with it.
I was wondering if you were gonna say that, or if you were just gonna keep it to the experience.
We don't know what happened with the pancakes, but the pancakes had a little bit of an aftertaste. And I took 1-2 bites, syrup and all, and I was like, "What is that? What do you put into a pancake to make it taste bitter at the end?" And then
age.
And then Steven was like, "Okay, I really want juice. I want some juice. Don't they have any juice here?" And all they had was coffee, hot chocolates.
Juice.
They had cereal, they had milk, but we're looking for something cold to drink.
Yeah.
Right? And so they will get you apple juice. There's apple juice somewhere. We get you. So we get the apple juice. I take 1 sip, and I don't say anything, but I'm like, this is gross. Maybe it needs to be cold.
Something's wrong with the apple juice?
Something's wrong with the apple juice, I say.
Is it bitter also?
It just has this aftertaste. And you're like, ew, what is this?
Okay.
So it wasn't until the day after, which was Monday,
Your dusty apple juice.
where one of our guys was like, yo, did you see this? And takes, because he must have done the same thing I did and put it in the fridge. And it still tasted bad. I didn't have any more. I was saving it. I was literally saving it to have it.
Wow.
Cold.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he looked at it, June 15th, 2020 was the expiration date on the apple juice. So then we all were like, maybe the pancakes, also the batter,
Also
may have been a little bit old. Like, I don't understand why it was bitter. Like, so bitter that your mouth is like, what is that? Like,
it's blood cleansing. It's penicillin.
I was like,
The recipe. Okay, so you had some penicillin pancakes.
yes. I can't find this. Are we on today?
Well, are we on tonight? Let's check.
Usually I get a little bit of
A ting?
notification. Yeah.
Well, now we go through Ustream. But if you want me to never go through Ustream, then I can do that.
If we go through Ustream, are we still going through
On
things?
Facebook, yeah.
Okay, then that's how I'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I see us here.
Mm-hmm. And I see somebody there watching.
Okay, so we're here.
But they do weird things, to Black creators and content on the Facebook.
Yeah.
So
that was the situation for the weekend. The weekend was actually really great. I personally have issues this week. I had to go see the doctor this week. I have a hernia, so it looks like I'm going to be having surgery. So in October, I'll probably be away from the podcast scene. But I'm hoping everything goes better and everything is good.
when you what?
When I go for surgery.
Oh, okay. For how long? How long are you going to be away from podcasts?
So we'll probably do something like you and guest host.
A guest host. So
I don't remember.
I never got into guest host with anybody.
So
if
you get a chance to guest host.
How many guest hosts will I have? One? Maybe
Whatever
two?
can fit in this room.
I know Greg is on his. He's at home like.
Is he?
No. Tanya said, "Aww." Quick recovery.
Yeah, so I will be out for that. It's a little bit troubling and worrisome, just because it's COVID situation and I may be forced to make vaccination changes and stuff.
Do they put you to sleep for that?
Yes.
Oh, you have to go under.
Yeah.
Do they open you up, or do they just
Laparoscopic or full surgery is what you're asking. I get you. I'll only be hanging like you leave me sometimes. So
I feel like those finger details.
This is
This is me
fair enough.
Operating
Small.
tiny surgical incisions.
Except it's actually done
like a salad bowl.
with a computer screen.
Yeah. That was it.
So yeah.
That's what it would be.
So
they put you to sleep, but it is laparoscopic.
it will be laparoscopic.
Okay.
I don't want to be in a horror movie. I don't want to be looking at them working away, and they don't want me moving. They don't be like, oh, I think it's over
They
here.
put a sheet up for labs.
A sheet or no sheet?
They put a sheet up.
No, my
That's
goodness.
me.
That's the surgery I forgot to tell you
In
about.
some parts of when you're when you get certain kinds of brain surgery, you have to be awake for it.
Yes.
And they just be over there poking it up with a
They still put parts of your body to sleep so you're not moving.
Oh, so that is a horror movie.
Yeah.
So
they do the same
your
thing with your
arms are
eyes when you have eye surgery and that needle comes in. They actually put your eye to sleep.
Sort of.
but you still have to get that needle, the
This is
initial one,
absolutely
just
terrible.
try to see. And anybody who's gotten LASIK knows what I'm talking about. That's the surgery. The surgery, they'll put the thing in, they open up your eye, they do the thing, and you're like, and then all of a sudden you're awake this whole time.
And they're like,
yeah, and then they shave off the lens and they put it in the lens on top.
I don't know. I just guessed. I've never done it before.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a scary situation, especially because of COVID.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are contemplating surgeries, just understand that Edmonton has a huge layout of surgeries. They are asking people to get vaccinated. They are asking people to be mindful that when you come out of surgery, you're going to need time for downtime. So be down. I'm not a very good person at taking downtime at any of my surgeries. So this will be hard.
I feel like it's necessary to recover.
It is, but
You guys,
there's always bills, right?
I'm not seeing comments. Oh no, that was last week. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm barely getting comments. I got one from Ronald. Well, actually, no, let's just say Ronald's watching. Thanks, Ronald. Thanks for coming on.
Good to see you. Yeah, so my last week was pretty regular.
Yeah, how was your last week?
It was fun.
Did you go to
Tanya's here.
Did you go to the Don Deep Festival?
You know what? Honestly,
Sorry, what was it called? Caribbean Delight?
Splash?
Juice and Jerk.
Caribbean Splash?
Caribbean Splash.
Carnival?
My bad.
Winter? I don't remember, honestly. But, yes, I honestly didn't have the opportunity to. I was working all day on that specific day, I believe. And then Tanya and Janelle did go. So I was going to go there to meet them, and then it didn't work out in terms of timing. So I did not make it, unfortunately. I didn't really do a whole lot this last week. I did go see the Black Everyday exhibition exhibit that has been extended to September 19th. So this is the last week for real. Mm-hmm. So please, if you have not gone to see it, please go to see it. Adrian Loudon, obviously, you know I'm a huge fan. Keon Courtney, Richard Lipscomb, and a lot of local but also like Canadian talent. It was just really interesting to see the different forms because Darren Jordan did a really great job at having sculpture, at having paintings, and not only sculpture with clay or what have you, but sculpture of different kinds. There was like some wood stuff as well. I don't remember the artist's name who did that, and it's a very diverse show in terms of the diversity of Blackness. Hi, Ronald. In terms of the diversity of Blackness, and in terms of like showcasing Blackness as not a monolith. Like it was very like varietied, the show, which was really cool. And Adrian Loudon did dedicate his giant piece to the kings and queens of the Black Multiverse. So if you get a chance to go see it, go see it. Take as many pictures as you can. I have to call him because I think I see him this week or something, but I didn't 100% understand the story that they had on it. Like, I'm like, did this actually happen, or is this story a part of the exhibit? Because what he says is in southern Alberta, he found pieces of this barn, and they had different constellations on them. And when you line up the constellations, it is not our current sky, but it's not our sky until the year 2031. And there was like these different paintings in there, so he kind of put it together with the constellations and then touched up some stuff. And a lot of the paintings, he said, were of like people who were kind of recent, even though the paintings look like they've been done a long time ago and they're in the process of being dated now. So I don't know if that was real or if that was like a part of exhibiting stuff. So the biggest thing I did was go see Black every day. And if you get a chance, it is like $10, 2 for $20. Go to the AGA.
It's a deal.
Yeah, you don't have to make an anything. You can just walk in and go with your friends and see it. But definitely, if not, I 100% recommend. And to be honest with you, I recommended it before I even went. So.
Yes, Black every day, everybody. Black every day. And where is it?
The Art Gallery of Alberta.
AGA.
Yeah.
The Art Gallery of Alberta. Okay.
All right. Let us move on to the scroll.
I want to tell everybody on the scroll, for local scroll, we were supposed to have the all black party with the Black every day with Darren Jordan. But in Darren's own words, Darren said, I did not want to put my friends and family at risk.
Yes. What a guy.
What a guy, looking out for us. He said, I didn't want to be a super spreader event. I put my friends and family at risk. So we literally put it on the back burner. We will have an all black party sometime. We just won't have it for the opener this year.
But if you want to, you can get a hold of me because we will give you an opportunity to wear all your dress-up wear. I think it's actually perfect time coming up right now. The leaves are changing perfectly, so if we get a whole bunch of people in dress-up clothes, it would look nice with the background. So we're planning on doing a photo shoot. So
nice.
Holla at your girl. Holla at your girl.
Holla.
Okay. What else we got?
Yo, Darren in the house. Darren Hall. What else we got? Okay, so we have the scroll for today. So the scroll, we are talking about a little bit of COVID issues that we have. A lot of people are talking about our premier, Jason King.
What did he do now?
So the right-hand person, Dr. What's her name again? Dr. It's on the tip of
Adriana. Huffington. Adriana.
Okay, get ready now.
Adriana.
Her name is Dr. Hinshaw. Dr. Hinshaw. She admits to lulling Albertans into a false security, apologizes for claiming COVID was over back in July. So remember when they said, COVID is over, everybody. It's going to be the best summer ever. Yeah, she apologized. Sorry, I just wanted you guys to have a fun time at the expense
of you guys.
Of you.
Got it. And if I told you it was really happening, you wouldn't have enjoyed summer as much as
anybody knew Dr. Hidshaw, she's known for doing this. Last Halloween, she tried to stave off us shutting down so that her kids could go for trick or treat. And they came back and apologized with people like my mom and seniors being like, I can't believe this lady risked my life for her children to go trick or treat. I don't care about that. My mom was very bad about Dr. Hidshaw's course of action. So she's been known for doing this. She is talking about doing, apologizing for it now. And now with things skyrocketing, I think we had over 500 in one day last week. People are being kind of nudged now. Really heavy nudging is happening now.
What's it called? Nudging still.
To vaccinate. You have a lot of people saying if you don't vaccinate, you're an anti-vaccine. I want everybody to know on the Black Multiverse Theory, we are not here to convince you to take a vaccine. We only give you the information you need to make the decisions that you need.
We don't even do that. We just tell you to go get the information that you need.
We give the information
in order to
don't be like that. We had a whole health professional on here telling us about the information about the vaccine.
That's true.
And that's because she's my favorite auntie. And my favorite, your sister, my favorite auntie.
How'd she your auntie? Stop it. She's not old enough to be your auntie.
Okay. Why that?
She's younger than you, I'm pretty sure. No, she isn't. She's older than you, for sure.
Even if she was older.
She's just big sis.
Alright, fine. Our favorite big sis.
You want her to be... I don't
have any sisters.
There you go. You want her to be Auntie Marilyn?
She's my sister.
She's Auntie Marilyn.
Sister Marilyn.
Ooh, Sister Marilyn.
Sister Marilyn.
I'm going to tell her that.
Sister Marilyn came out. She did this stuff.
She did a thing. I shout out to my big sis as well.
So she came in. She gave us all the information. She gave us a lot of information. The information I didn't even know myself.
Yeah.
And, you take all the information in consideration, and then you make the decisions, right?
Yeah.
And so there's been a lot of anti-masking protests that, in the city.
Yeah.
Down at the legislature, there's been a bunch of stuff. And so we all have to be very diligent and vigilant to make sure that we have all the information. We make the right decisions for us and our family and friends.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Darren noticed that Dr. Hinshaw is not doing any more press. So
yeah.
she's done with it.
They put a gag order on her kind of deal.
Oh, they did?
Well, they're
like, no more from you. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they'll put her up there. They'll let it die down a little bit because she apologized. And the funny thing about you need to have a Dr. Hinshaw in there to convince people to do certain things.
Right.
So you're always going to have a Dr. Fauci or a Dr. Hinshaw to come in there and be like, listen, everybody, the medical science is this. And they give you all the information, right?
Yeah.
So you need that person to convince you. Because if you had Bernie from Bernie's Electrical doing it, nobody's going to take him seriously because they're like, this guy's an electrician. What do you know about vaccines, right? You need somebody who's there to talk to you.
Right.
Then on top of that, they need a fall guy. They need a fall person right now.
A woman is the best.
It's Jason Kenney who really is putting these things. It's not Dr. Hinshaw being like, I decided to get my office. It's not. It's Jason Kenney. So when the time came, they're like, it's time for you to take the fall. And she's
like, all right.
She's like, hey.
I'm falling on the sword.
And she literally took the fall, but not after, maybe an exchange. I don't know if there was a little bit of exchange.
I doubt it. Have you seen Dr. Hinshaw?
That don't mean nothing.
Okay,
have you seen people who are rich and what they wear? Especially other people?
Oh. What they wear?
From the Caucasus Mountains?
Oh.
The people from the Caucasus Mountains, you see, they wear t-shirts and shorts, and they're billionaires.
It's true. And those t-shirts are worth thousands of dollars.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
Until you see the tag. It's just a white t-shirt.
That's the...
Yeezy did that.
That's the... Yeah. Actually, that's because of Yeezy. I know a lot of people don't like Kanye. I don't want to give him his credit, but...
Well, it's a good thing you said that, because he's the next on the scroll.
Is he for you? What
did
he do?
Because we had the VMAs this week.
And the Met Gala.
We'll
do that after. Sorry, I didn't mean to get into it.
No, that's fine. VMAs and the Met Gala. VMAs, you had a bunch of people. Doja Cat showed up for the VMAs. VMAs is the Video Music Awards for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And the Video Music Awards, when you look at the Video Music Awards, it's a time when people look at it's a time now that we don't watch a lot of music videos per se,
right,
unless you're on the internet. And now the people who are on the internet,
or unless you go
YouTube,
to the gym,
I find are my children. So my children's age, they're the ones going to be watching music videos now. I remember being their age watching a lot of music videos.
Really, the world is for them,
and the world is really catering towards a younger generation than mine, right, per se. But I still watch a lot of music videos that I saw. So Doja Cat shows up. She shows up in this wonderful Power Ranger monster outfit. It's basically, it looks like one of the monsters from Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. And she's on there wearing it. And a lot of people are commenting on her. But she releases there that her and Chloe Bailey and another girl are forming a group.
Yeah.
The girls group.
That's exciting. You don't like it?
I think you'll be real talented group and they'll come together and do it. Doja Cat has a lot of stuff where the black community hates her and loves her. It's the same thing with Mariah Carey. She kind of fits in that category for me, the Mariah Carey category.
Doja Cat? In what way?
Because Mariah Carey, when she first came out, won an NCAA
the black thing
award, and then said, "I don't even know why I won this. I'm not even black."
And
then everybody was like,
but she also did weird stuff like some sex race play stuff too.
Right. Then she married, the Sony producer or whatever. She married him for years. Then she divorced him and married Nick Cannon. And then did a bunch of, when she divorced him, she did like about 5-6 music videos with Diddy and all these different music videos with her going around. So there's a lot going on with that. So Doja Cat on the other side, my wife Mariah Carey. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. So Doja Cat also has been doing very racially twisted things where people are like, why would you even do that? Why are you doing that? And she's playing against the nerdy gamer type. So she'll go online with her PS4 and log in to a bunch of nerdy type guys who play, like myself, who play games and kind of hit on them and say a bunch of stuff that's racially questionable. So she got called out for that just recently. So that's why I put her in that same category where she's racially ambiguous almost. You don't know if she's mixed race and she's not telling anybody, but she's doing things that are
like fun guys. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So, but the group is going to be great. The music should be great. Kanye showed up, I believe it's the Met Gala that he showed up in his new attire that he's showing up to everything, which is completely covered from head to toe, hoodie up, not in red. This time he was in black, and he was with Kim, and Kim also had her entire face covered and body covered in a beautiful black gown, like a shadow.
Yeah, they said that she looked like Peter Pan's shadow.
That's actually funny because I didn't know that before I said it.
That is what the internet said about Kim K. Other people who came was Little Nas X. He had a 3-layer outfit that started with how you build up this armor against the world. It was something about like having an exterior mask that you wear that's different than who you actually are, and then taking off that mask, but then having an armor, and then underneath that was like this beautiful like body unitard type of a thing. So it had to do with that transition, I guess, into terms of being your true self. The poet laureate, I can't remember her name, was there with a book clutch. That was her thing. Okay. And Nicki Minaj was not there because she said that she had
protesting
COVID. Oh. She said she didn't want to put a whole bunch of people at risk. And yeah, you were. And and people were like, yeah. People were saying weird stuff about Nicki Minaj not being there.
Listen, if she had COVID, I'm glad she stayed home.
Yeah. And then she either had COVID or she recently had COVID or she had COVID at some point. It was like, I'm not trying to get it again, but it was some COVID thing, but I get it. Mm-hmm. Additionally, Darren was talking about Machine Gun Kelly not wanting to take a picture of that McGregor guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then he had like a big tantrum over it, and it's kind of like turned into some kind of weird internet beef. And now there is set to be a possible, probable celebrity boxing match between Machine Gun Kelly and Conor McGregor, which is hyper weird.
Did you see what happened with the Conor McGregor thing? So he didn't want to take the picture. Mm-hmm. He went off. Machine Gun Kelly went off to have an interview on his own. Conor McGregor goes to walk away and then turns around and is like, "Nah, I'm gonna sell this right now." Walks back over, slaps somebody's drink all over Machine Gun Kelly, like sprays everybody, the camera guy, everybody in the area, and then they grab him and they take him away. And that's what
happened.
Yeah, that's
okay. So that spilled onto the internet,
yes.
And now has worked its way to a possible celebrity boxing match between the two.
There you go. Celebrity boxing match.
Yeah.
But Kels is not a fighter.
That's what Darren said.
Darren says he's not a fighter. Well, we'll see what happens, man.
Also, New York Fashion Week, I think, just ended in New York. Many of my friends were not only there at a lot of the shows, but caught randomly in a lot of the pictures as well. They're like, "That's me! Look!" So that has been pretty dope to watch. That's it. We used to have an African Fashion Week Edmonton that was, I'm going to say it, pretty poorly done. And they would be really cool to see something like that come back again in a way that is more better done.
I hear that.
Yeah, so I like that Fashion Week vibe. It's pretty cool. We should have an Edmonton Fashion Week.
Speaking of fighting, though, to go back to that, I believe Anderson Silva did a boxing match. I mean, for those of you who don't know, he's a UFC MMA fighter. Mm-hmm. And he did a boxing match and knocked the guy right out.
Like good night?
Mm-hmm. Good night. Just hit him on the side of the head. He did a couple moves, right, left, right, then moved out of the way and said clacks right into the ear. And the man said, "Good night."
And that was all he wrote.
That's what he said. He said, "Good night."
Okay, all right.
So yeah, that is basically our scroll.
That is mainly it. I had some other stuff, but it's okay. I don't remember exactly. It's all right.
We have a couple. I did say that there were protests for the anti-masks. Also, mandatory injection. So, for those of you here in Edmonton, going back to the local scroll, here in Edmonton, there are talks right now about merging a lot of our identification cards together. So like our Alberta healthcare card with our driver's license into one card that you have that is tappable and scannable. So you can literally tap it for those of you.
That would give the police access to all my medical records?
Literally, have everything.
I don't like it.
You just tap it. Nobody does.
Okay, good.
Not a lot of people do, but a lot of people think it's convenient. For instance, I had my wallet stolen. I don't have my Alberta healthcare number on it. I don't have my Alberta. So last time I went to the doctor, I had to get a requisite done, and I didn't have my Alberta healthcare number with me. And so because I didn't have the number, they had to look it up. It took a long time. Then they found it. Then they wrote it on a piece of paper and said, "Hey, don't lose this. Take a picture of it so you don't forget." And then I put it in my pocket and it fell over. So I'm back to square one without having this card. Mm-hmm. Normally I keep it in my wallet. It never comes out unless I get sick or my children get sick or something like that. Mm-hmm. So normally that's how it is. But when I lost my wallet, all of that got lost too. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people think that it would be easier if you had your Alberta healthcare number on to your card. Mm-hmm. Now, why police would need that, I don't know. No. But they have information about a lot of people that they don't need.
I'm okay with that.
So
pass, hard pass, hard pass, hard pass.
So a lot of people are debating that. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Ready to move on to the screen. I always forget which one is next.
No, I'm not ready to move on to the screen.
Okay, what else you got?
Last thing on the scroll, this is the last thing. Black excellence in technology. Mm-hmm. We've done on this show a couple robots. We've talked about a couple robots. The latest robot just came out by black engineers. Is a black autonomous robot by the name of Clara. That is capital C dot L dot AI dot R dot A.
Okay.
She is a African American, Latina American.
Robot.
Robot.
Why are we racing the robots?
When you put skin color on a robot, they are less frightening. And when you make them real, they are less frightening than a machine just telling you about the different things.
Fine. I think Sophie's terrifying.
I feel Sophie is, but this robot has an afro. This robot has a whole full afro, and she speaks 2 languages. She's bilingual, and she talks and sasses people, and her arms move. I would expect more lingual. So she's like, she's doing all the actions as well. So it is interesting. Her name is Clara.
Okay, Robot Clara.
And she's made, and I love it because I'm a big tech guy. But I love it because Black people were like, "Oh, you made a robot? Let me show you how to make a robot." And the funny thing about this robot, I'm going to tell you the truth. I did not know it was a robot until they said it was a robot.
No, that's worse. That is the part.
I was like, oh, we really outdid this robot thing. So if anybody makes a robot that is going to come after society, remember we're going to make a robot that's going to come after their robot.
Actually, let me be honest with you. I desperately want to write a screenplay. I probably shouldn't say. I'm going to say there's like 2 people on. I want to write a screenplay. There's literally 2 people. Okay, so it's fine. It's me, Darren, and Tanya. And you. Just the 4 of us here. So I want to write a screenplay about the sort of like the Terminator where the robots are like turning against humans, except that there's a bias in the code, so the robots actually can't see Black people. And it's up to this group of Black people to save mankind because they're like darker melanated and the robots cannot see them.
I like this idea, except I don't feel like those Black people will do a lot.
They're not going to.
To save mad.
No, they're gonna build a robot that's able to go against the other robots.
Okay. I like it. It'll be interesting because I'm like, if they can't see me, I'm good. Like, you go have to figure it out. All y'all gonna have to figure out what y'all gonna do.
I know, but as usual, there can't be a movie without Black people in it without us all relying on them to make everything better.
I'm gonna eat my cereal while they shoot up whoever they can see.
I read this on the internet and I should pass it on, that it says everything that you know and love about pop culture was invented by a Black teenager.
That's actually pretty funny.
It is true. Pretty true. So.
It is pretty true. Oh, and by the way, that screenplay that you're going to do, let's just say that, chalk it up for our sketches.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like it. All right. So let us move on to what's on the screen. What are you watching?
On the screen, a couple things came up on the screen. Watched Cruella.
Oh, how was it?
Cruella is a combination of The Devil Meets Prada and a heist movie. So it kept me because it was a real. It's like the prequel to what happens to her, why she's the way she is, what's her beef with Dalmatians, what's the situation, and you find out. You find out all of it.
It's her origin story.
And you're like, yeah, okay, I understand why she was.
So now you have empathized with Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, you find out her real name before she became Cruella.
Okay.
And then you find out where she came from. You find out her background. You find out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good. I enjoyed watching it. It was funny and fun, exciting, thrilling. Oh. It had a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
The second in command character, he is a Black British actor. And that's Jasper.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like Jasper from the original, but he's black.
Okay.
And when I say he looks, he's tall and slender. And he's very interesting to watch. And it's very interesting to watch too because it transcends time frames. So you can't really tell what time frame it is. Like, is it early? It's not Age of Sapphier. No, it's not Age of Sapphier. It's like early Renaissance. You think it is, but then you realize no, it's like the 60s or the 70s, and you're like, So it's really interesting to watch as they move from fashion to fashion.
That's
but
cool.
it's really cool.
That sounds cool.
Also on my scroll, I watched on the screen. Sorry, I watched Code 8. Code 8 is about a society. We live in a world where half the human population has powers, but they are discriminated against for the use of their powers. So they are used mainly with their powers for work-related things. So some of them have electrical powers, so they're electricians, and some of them have like fire powers on their hands, so like welders and stuff like that. And some of them have super strength and mind reading, so they're used in the healthcare professionals and stuff like that. Some of them are healing, they're used as nurses. So the healing ones are always the ones that are dying, and they're very rare because when they heal you, they actually take over your ailment. So if you have cancer, they literally just take the cancer from you. No, I have not seen Shang-Chi yet, but I'm trying to see it this weekend with the children. But back to this Code 8. So with Code 8, the world then invents these machines to do the work. Very similar to what they did with black people, having them in factories and then replacing those black people with machines that could do the work without having all the problems of being a human being and having to go to the bathroom and all that.
Having to be paid.
So they put all these people on the street, then these people started to like rob people with their powers, so then they came up with superhuman ways to subdue them and stuff like that. So now you need to have a permit to even use your powers or to have permits. You have to pay for a permit to go work, which is not done for normal people. They don't need a permit to work. They can just do whatever.
Wow.
So that is the problem that we're facing. And then you have people who are broke, and this guy, his mom is dying, and he wants to save her, but he doesn't have the money. So he's trying to do all this stuff to try and save her. But even when he's working legit, the police are coming and harassing him on his job.
Dang, it sounds like black people.
It does sound like black people, but it is white people.
Sound like the Jim Crow South.
And they really made it quite a bit like Jim Crow South, except everybody has powers.
Instead of being black.
So,
got it.
It's a really good movie. It's on Netflix. Go check out that movie. It is great. What do you have on your screen?
Well, this week I have 3 things, 2 documentaries, 1 show. So the first thing is Dirk Gently with Elijah Wood and this British guy. I don't even know if he's really British. But it is fantastical and it's enjoyable if you like mysteries. The whole thing kind of comes together slowly. And it's actually pretty funny. It's like very quirky, almost British comedy, but not. It has a British comedy feel to it.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was good. It's a binge worthy. It's a good binge worthy show. I also watched a Lula Rich. It is a documentary on the company called Lula Rose, which is this clothing company, which is also this quote-unquote multi-level marketing, but actually pyramid scheme company. So it goes through all of the people stealing the people's money, essentially, and how it happens. Which is, it is a good watch. And then the last documentary, which was the mind-blowing documentary, trigger warning on this part for child abuse specifically. So this movie called Tell Me Who I Am, it is on Netflix, with these twins. One of them gets into a bike accident and loses his memory, only remembers that this is his brother, doesn't remember anybody else. Kind of has just been asking his brother over the course of like 14 years or so, from 18 to 32, just asking his brother random questions about family and whatever, and his brother's telling him, yeah, no, going into details sometimes, not really other times, but his brother's like creating an idyllic upbringing and a life that they kind of didn't really have. But more importantly, after like in their adult lives, so at this 32-year-old age, the coma brother winds up finding a picture of him and his brother naked, and the picture has the heads cut off. It's just their naked bodies, essentially, in his mom's like a locked door in a closet under a floor type of a spot, right? So then the coma brother goes to the other brother and is like, were we abused? And the other brother's like, yeah, we were. But then doesn't give him any details at all. He's like, listen, I have already done the work to pretend this thing didn't happen. I pushed it down. When I started lying to you about it happening, I also started lying to myself, essentially. And this is not a conversation I want to have. So then this documentary takes place when they're 51. And the guy has gone from 32 to 51, not knowing what happened to him, knowing that he was sexually abused by their mom, but not knowing to what extent, how, what exactly happened, and all that stuff. So this documentary, the brother who remembers now can't even say it to the guy. So he says it into the camera. It was the first time he ever said it, was in the documentary.
Wow.
And then the concussion brother watches it on the computer instead of hearing it from his brother, because the other brother was like, I'm going to save this into this camera and then we are never going to talk about this again. But the other brother was feeling like there's a hole in his life, like he didn't know what his real life was, and he felt like there was this thing that his twin had and they weren't able to share it, right? But the twin brother was like, I'm not trying to talk about this stuff at all. I just want to live my life and not talk about it. So yeah, it was really powerful. It was pretty moving. So that is Tell Me Who I Am on Netflix. It's what I watched this last week. And now we're going to move on to In Our Ears. What are you listening to?
Definitely listening to more Ricky Dillard on my ones and twos.
Love it.
Listening to more gospel music, a little bit of Kirk Franklin, and a lot of the new music that came out. I listened to it and I'm like, okay, it kind of resonated, but there wasn't a song that like stuck out for me. So I went back to my gospel. What's in your ears?
I have been listening to trap music, which I also call prosperity gospel, because it is all about getting money and hustling and doing what you have to do and not sleeping and, doing what you gotta do to be successful. So that is what I've been working on.
Okay.
Is what I've been listening to.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. 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 So when I say trap music, who am I talking about? Yo Gotti, specifically. Yo Gotti radio.
Okay.
Okay, let us move on to the word. Do you have a word this week? I do. Okay, good, I do. It's actually a word that I put on top of my Facebook earlier today. And it is about success. And specifically what I said is that success is for you. So when you have a goal that you want to reach, when you have something that you want to achieve, trap, not church. Thanks, Greg. He's like, did you say church music or trap music? Yeah, so when you have something that you want to achieve, when you have goals that you want to achieve, those goals are for you. The people who doubt you, the people who think that you will be unsuccessful, the people who don't believe that you can do this, the people who think you're over your head, literally the people who aren't of any support to you at all are not going to one day wake up and decide to support you because of how much you've achieved. It's just not a thing that happens. And I can say that confidently at this point. So it is really, really important that you understand that the people who will doubt you will continue to doubt you regardless of what you achieve, regardless of what goals you've set for yourself and what goals you have reached, and regardless of what you plan to do. You can be completely undeniable, but the people who have been denying you from the beginning will continue to deny you. So it is very, very important that you realize that as it relates to success, and success being reaching the goals that you set out for yourself, it's really important to know that you are the only person that matters. So celebrate and celebrate yourself. That is what I have.
Okay. That's a good word.
Thanks. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Another week of the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. We will see you again next week. Please, please, please go and check out the Black Everyday exhibit at the AGA. You will not regret it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Just playing.